Oh my God. Where do I start with this? Where do I start? This is a absolute this if it's any Falcon fan that's sitting out here right now that's angry for what? This is the detail of this team all season long. That was an embarrassing loss. And there's nowhere to really start with this team at this point. This team is terrible. They need to blow this roster up. Let me go ahead and go on record and even talk about the fact that Matt Ryan played awful today. 3 interceptions. That is absolutely embarrassing. We had 2 interceptions in field goal range. We had one opportunity to even take the lead for the win, and we have dumb interceptions like that. I'm sorry. Y'all know I've always been a Matt Ryan supporter, but Matt Ryan played awful today. And anybody that criticizes Matt Ryan right now has every reason to do so because he earned it today. Awful game. Because the Chargers did absolutely nothing special. This game really should have been won by us. But when you're a dumb football team, when you play a bad quarterback play like you had today, stuff like that happens. You can't blame the defense. Defense cannot be blamed for this one today. The defense did enough for the third out of the last 4 weeks to win the football game we didn't win. It comes a point, man, where it truly comes a point where that's hold on. That's good to hear, Tavaj. At the end of the day, you did say that the Falcons were going to have a losing season. I do remember you telling me that well before the season started. But that's actually embarrassing though. At this point, the Falcons need to blow this roster up. They need to blow this roster up, plain and simple. So I'm just not. I'm just at a point now with this team where it's normal. It's week after week. Oh, absolutely, they're sorry. They're absolutely sorry at this point. This team is embarrassing to watch week in and week out. I'm glad it's 3 weeks remaining, but we couldn't have asked for 3 of the worst opponents remaining. We got Tampa Bay twice, and then we got to deal with the Chiefs week 16. I don't know how this season is going to play out, but it's going to get ugly. You got to deal with that Tampa offense who had a big win today against the Vikings. They're in the wild card race. They will not take it easy next week. I expect that game to get ugly too. At this point, you're playing for draft position. You're 4-9. What's the purpose of winning another game this season? And I'm not even big on tanking, but we're that bad. You're right, Savage. We need to focus on the future. We do need to focus on the future. We got 3 more games of this crap to deal with. It's actually embarrassing. It's hard to be a fan and watch this week in and week out when we go out here and play like this. At the end of the day, you got a terror. We've talked about it so many times, having bad offensive coordinator Dirk Cutter. We talked about that. But today, Matt Ryan didn't make it look any better either. He missed some throws. That first interception that the corner jumped was embarrassing. That second interception was even more embarrassing. And even at the end of the day, you had an opportunity to close this game out. The Falcons were playing to score fast. They weren't even trying to play to win this game or close this game out. That's another mistake by a dumb football team. It's hard to really say this. He said we need a quarterback, running back, offensive line, defensive end, outside linebacker, cornerback, safe, and 2 safeties. True, but to be honest with you, how many things we can't fix all this in one off season. We need to blow this roster up, but we can't fix all this in one off season. We still got 2 awful contracts on the books, and that's the 2 stars of the team, Matt Ryan, Julio Jones. So even if the fans wanted this whole thing, the GM would have to be very, very creative to get out of both of them contracts next season. I don't see it. But at the point, you're gonna have to start prepping for your future. It is getting out of hand at this point. This team is bad. This was a Charger team who just lost 45-0 to New England last week. We go out here, made them like they were they're opposite of their record. There's a young team. They are trending in the right direction. I'm not going to sit here and take anything away from them. They are trending in the right direction. I like what Justin Herbert has done all season long, but they did nothing special today. Is we still walk away with a loss. It's nothing that you can really say at this point, but this team is bad. Okay, let's see. John, you said Matt Ryan needs to be traded. Julio Jones needs to be traded. Hey, I feel you. I'm not even sitting here defending any player on this team at this point because I've been adamant on blowing this roster up for a couple of weeks now. I've been saying that since the Dan Quinn firing that we need to blow this roster up. It's nothing to really defend this team on at this point. They're bad. And I don't see it getting any better even under new coach or GM next season. He said, come join the Chiefs. You won't be. I'm not bandwagoning. Let's get that out the way. Side note, let me get away from my show for a second. This young man has asked me since week 3 to join the Kansas City Chiefs bandwagon. I am not jumping bandwagons. I will deal with this mess. I've been dealing with this mess for 29 years. Make me forget my years. I'm sick of y'all. But yeah, man, he's been wanting me to jump on the Chiefs bandwagon for a long time. I like Justin Herbert. He's in the wrong division. I agree with that. He's in the wrong division. But at the same time, they're trending in the right direction. The only thing you got to deal, you are in a tough division with the defending Super Bowl champs and that Oakland. I'm sorry, Vegas. I'm so used to saying Oakland Raiders, but that's a team that's trending in the right direction. They're not a bad football team, but we did nothing. We did no favors today to them. So hard to really sit here and take away from anything they did. No, I'm not jumping on the Colts bandwagon. Thank you for giving me all your teams to jump on. I'm not doing it. Justin Herbert looked like the veteran today out on the field. He took care of the ball despite his one interception. Matt Ryan like the rookie. Matt Ryan played like 2013-14 Matt Ryan under Dirk Cutter, staring the receiver down, not going through with certain reads. This team, they make too many rookie mistakes for you to be a veteran football team. Todd Gurley's not a rookie. He took one play like on 3rd and 1 late in the 4th. He took the wrong angle. Matt took a shot at the end zone, incomplete pass. Like, why are you taking shots in the end zone? That interception that he threw in the end zone, that was one of the dumbest plays of the game because you're taking a shot for what? Fortunately, he should threw 4 interceptions, to be honest with you, because he threw an interception in the back pocket of the safety, but he just wasn't there. He just paid attention to it on that play. See what everyone is saying. Jude, I'm not sitting here not saying Matt Ryan shouldn't be gone. Matt Ryan played awful today. And you guys know I always try to find the benefit of the doubt for Matt Ryan. But Matt Ryan has put himself in this position to where you cannot defend yourself. So everybody that's going in on Matt Ryan at this point, go at it. Because you're 35-year-old, 13-year veteran quarterback in the NFL, making mistakes as if you just stepped into the NFL. I expect way better out of you. You said read your comment. Hold on. Don't forget he almost threw on where he underthrew. That's exactly what I was just talking about. That underthrow to Ridley, that should have been a touchdown. Give me a moment because for some reason my comments don't come up on this app like I thought it would. To his credit, I didn't watch all game, but I love him too much to ignore the regression. I do too, man. I've always liked Matt Ryan, but it's so hard to ignore that he is regressing at this point. Like, we got to get another quarterback. Everybody keeps thinking that we're saying it's just like throw him away next season. I'm not saying that, but you got to start planning for the future. It's kind of like the Joe Flacco and Lamar Jackson situation in Baltimore. Matt's not that bad, but it's that situation to where, his time has ran its course in Atlanta. Ryan not winning the ring. I'm sorry, I'm humble. Well, you have fun in Kansas City, buddy. Have fun. That would have been 4 interceptions. I absolutely agree with you. That would have been 4 picks in this game. And Matt has had some bad throws this season to where it's not just a Dirk Cutter's a bad offensive coordinator. Don't get me wrong. But there are certain things you cannot put on the offensive coordinator. Some things The one thing that I think all of us collectively as Falcon fans, or even just fans of the game in general, have always had an issue with Matt Ryan is he's a teacher's pet. Matt Ryan will do whatever the coach said he's gonna do. If they go out there and say throw a 50-yard bomb between six corners and one receiver, he's gonna do it. Why? Listen to the coaches. That's not smart though. That's how you get yourself out the NFL. You got to get to a point where you got to take control of your offense. You can't keep sitting here if you're trying to play to win football games. Because even though us as fans say, like, man, take this thing out, we're not that good. The season's over. They want to still win, even though we don't feel like they should still be winning at this point. They still want to win. Oh my God! One of my buddies, thank you. He just told me that I can join the Seahawks fan base. We will accept you. This is not a post for you to recruit me to your fan base. John tried to recruit me to the Ravens on this same post. This is not recruit Nate to another team. Matt done misses Lombardi train. Throw a slow ball that's too easy for a DB to recover from. I don't disagree with that. I feel like our window closed after 2017, and we just never recovered off of it. It is sad because what I would hate to see is his legacy in Atlanta be remembered as 28-3 because he actually has been a productive quarterback here, but it's not getting any better from this point. I think you got to start slowly transitioning. I know a lot of fans have sat there and said that, this team does, that they can squeeze a couple good more years out of him due to the salary cap. But I also think at the same time, you got to start looking towards the future of this team. And I don't know. One thing that we all as fans know about Matt Ryan, and this is no knock on him. I've always respected Matt game and respected Matt as quarterback for this team, but we got to go through yet another offensive coordinator, and that's not something that we don't really do well of. We always have a hard first year adjustment because we having to learn the system in year two. We always take off, but at the end of the day, you can't do that so many times because after Dirk Cutter is gone and Raheem Morris is gone after the season, you're going to deal with another offensive coordinator. You're going to deal with another coaching staff. So everything has to change again. So there's so many issues with this team that can't be fixed next season. I don't care if we have a Julio Jones I said Roddy White. You throw it off today, darn Falcons. I don't care if we have a Julio Jones or a Calvin Ridley or a Russell Gage or Hayden Hurst. You will not succeed if you don't have a game, you don't have an offensive mind in here that's going to get it going, and a quarterback that's confident in himself to make the plays. There's a point in every quarterback career, the elite quarterbacks like a Breeze, a Brady, a Rodgers, a Russell Wilson, who is making plays. If they see something they don't like, they're out here making the plays they need to make. It's not happening no more here, and that's a problem because you can only go down with the ship so much to where you start getting blamed. See, I can't defend, man. I hate to say it, it's time to move on. You must have your ducks in a row to succeed in finding a new quarterback. I do agree with that. I think you do need to start looking into getting another quarterback this off season because we are currently I want to say we're 8 right now in the draft spot. We were 8 coming into the game. So now at this point, we are probably going to be a little higher. The Cowboys won day, we lost to the Cowboys, so that could play a factor in us being a little higher on the board. We know we're not getting past the Jets, the Bengals, or the Jaguars. Those will be the top 3 no matter what. So we can forget that. But after that, I mean, it's fair game. I'm not sure if the Saints are losing still to the Eagles. If they lose today, then that's another 4-win team that jumps us. So the Falcons could easily find themselves in the top 5 of this draft before it's over with. So that's something that's going to be intriguing to watch. Or even if we try to win the last 3 games, because let's be honest, the Chiefs are playing for the number 1 seed in the AFC, and the Buccaneers are trying to get into the playoffs. So I don't see them taking it easy on us at all. Let's see. Make Madden playbook better than what Dirk Cutter be called. Dirk Cutter is the worst offensive coordinator I've ever seen in my life. And I don't even talk about I don't even try to bash coordinators or anything like that on a regular, but he's a horrible offensive coordinator. He does not get anything out of this team. Dirk Cutter had sort of the same issues in 13 and 14 before he was fired and went to Tampa Bay. And we're seeing the same thing, but this time it's an older team. Like certain things, he should have never been rehired. That was the first, to be honest with you, Dan Quinn sealed his fate rehiring Dirk Cutter. If we're just going to be honest about it. Let's see what else was being said. Either join me or, well, hey, I'm sitting on the couch. Reggie, I'm not joining the Steelers either. Thank you, but no thank you. But again, this was a very bad loss. The defense, and it's sad because for the third loss, the defense didn't let. I don't even think people realize this defense haven't even given up. I don't think we've given up 30 points since the Denver game. We've given up 23. I think we gave up 23 in New Orleans. We gave up 21 last weekend, and we gave up 20 today. That's good enough to win a football game in the NFL. But at the end of the day, when your offense does absolutely nothing, what can you do? And today was so much of a Matt Ryan. Today, Matt Ryan looked absolutely atrocious. You can get mad all day long. I'm a Matt supporter, so anyone that takes offense to this, you don't have a reason why. At the end of the day, I'm a fan of this team first, but I'm gonna call every individual player out when they have a bad day, and he had a bad day. Miss me with the scheme, miss me with all the audibles, all that stuff. He had a bad day, plain and simple. It's time to get to a point where he has to be criticized because you are our highest paid player on the team. That's nothing against what he's done in the last 13 years. He played bad today. It's time to stop looking at what he did for the previous 13 years. I respect what he's done. I respect what Julio's done. At this point, it's time to stop giving these guys passes because they've been on the team. Because that's probably the reason why we're 4-9 now. Let's just be honest about this thing. It's probably the reason why we're 4-9 now because certain guys got passes for what they have done instead of what you're doing in 2020. 2016 is over. 2017 is over. We haven't had a winning season in 3 years. That shouldn't even keep you a job for 2 years to have. Mike Smith got fired after his second losing season. He had 5 winning seasons in a row. Dan Quinn got an extra season just to go 0-5 and get fired. You see what I mean here? Mike Smith was a much smarter head coach than Dan Quinn was before he got fired. Oh, let's see. Reggie said they hurt. No, I'm not hurt. What? I stopped being hurt after we blew the Chicago game. You knew the season was over after we blew the Chicago game with 0-3. It's no hurt at this point with this team. At this point, this team is just bad. We've been waiting for the season to end since the third week of the season. But overall, this team is bad. It's time to get rid of this thing. It's time to switch this thing up. We got to go forward and start looking to life after these guys that we have because we've been so comfortable with these guys stepping onto the field. Next season, we're going to have them again. We will have them next season. We will have Matt and Julio unless someone can get another, can get another coordinator. I'm sorry, can get a GM that's a cap wizard and get them up out of here. That's the only way that's going to be able to work. Other than that, it's not going to work. I'm just ready for this season to come to an end because I want to see what we plan to do with life past this football team, this current roster, because this era is over. I don't know anybody that's really trying to stick with this era past 2020. This era is over. But I will be on here later on this week. We'll get a chance to talk about the draft. I possibly will preview the Tampa Bay game. I was supposed to do a draft coverage. Supposed to do some draft coverage early this week. My apologies on that. I'm gonna make that happen. But yeah, very bad loss by the Falcons. They lost 2017 today in a game they should have lost. Talk to y'all later.